गुड मॉर्निंग एंड वेलकम टू गनर शॉट। गनर शॉट में आप सबका स्वागत है। I've been missing in action for the past 48 hours, so I thought let me get back and start the day. And we'll start the day with the constitutional dictators of Pakistan. Yesterday you heard General Hari Mohan talk about Asim Munir, ye, wo, all that. Excellent talk. But I'm going to switch the direction somewhere else. We're going to understand Pakistan. Understand Pakistan, Understanding Pakistan is a very important part of our entire story. But before that, there was a blast, in Red Fort yesterday, and that blast has, the blast in Red Fort, 8 people have died, and what's more, it's now being probed as a terror incident. Well, that's the thing. The intriguing part is that this blast happened in a car which was slow moving, in which 3 people were there. What happened to those 3 people? We're not fully clear. We know that there's a link with JNK. We also know that a lot of ammonium nitrate has been recovered. Uh, well, fingers are pointing to JNK definitely and terror definitely. But can you conclude it by saying that it was completely a incident? Maybe not. Maybe some amount of explosives were being transported and then it caught fire and something happened, and. But terror, yes. Was it a bomb incident? Maybe not. In any bomb blast, flame, presence of flame indicates something. Presence of flame indicates propellant burning, explosive burning. Explosive which burns is not a full high explosive. So these are my indication earlier thoughts. Early thoughts. The issues are more. Let it come out. A lot of people are already talking of Op Sindur too. Look at him. Look at this chap, Mighty KK006. He says Op Sindur Part 2 or not. You shouldn't jump to these things. One should be patient. Let the official thing come out. And then take action. Action we must take on that. We should not have any doubts. But one shouldn't precipitate action. One shouldn't jump into conclusions. That's the way I look at it. And I'm sure people will do the right thing. Right? That's how it is. Now let's get back to the constitutional dictators of Pakistan. Why did I take this story today? It's because these three jokers on the screen need each other to be kept in power. All three are power seekers, basically. They're not bothered about Pakistan. Let's be very clear. They have no interest in the well being of Pakistan. All they have well being is in their own rule. Both these guys, right, Shahbaz Sharif and Asif Ali Zardari, have been put in place by him, by Asim Munir, because he's the one who's rigged the elections and all that. So this, it's not even a hybrid regime. It's an illegal regime which is in Pakistan, because they don't have the the mandate of the people. They don't have anything legal about it. But the entire legality or illegality of the current government in Pakistan stems from Asim Munir. On the other hand, the existence of Asim Munir as a chief, as a field marshal, and this constitutional amendment which was done 2 days back. We'll talk about that because that's the uh, crux of our story today, right? All that, the power of Asim Munir stems from these two guys. It's only these two guys who can ensure that Munir is kept in chair. So these three guys are someone who need each other. To think that Ashim Munir is the one sutradhar of this whole thing. I think we are mistaken. All three chaps are complicit with each other. And this complicity, I will get back towards the end of the program through their own analysis. Okay. See, we have to understand Pakistan's strategic culture uses Islamism with multi militarized nationalism. The strategic culture of a nation is not dependent on the military alone. It's a sum total of the civilian elite and the military. And both these three guys are the power brokers of Pakistan, the way I look at it. And militarized nationalism has been the order of the day in Pakistan. I have no doubt about it. Okay, now this is it. Have a look at this. This is the parody I got from social media. Yeah. So that's it. That's the perception of people in Pakistan. It's AI generated, it's fake, we know that. But it represents a sentiment, it represents a thought process. Let's get ahead with this. Look, yesterday, the 27th constitutional amendment was just bulldozed through, it just sailed through. There's hardly any debate in the parliament. Whatever debate, dissent, and all is irrelevant there, right? See, it just sails through. One chap, PTI senator, resigned, but after he voted for the, constitutional amendment. Just think of a nation which has put through two constitutional amendments in the past 6 months. And both these constitutional amendments were debated without people even knowing what the amendment was all about. In both cases. And I showed this tweet earlier by Coker that the 27th amendment, which is being carried out, the main aim is to tweak Article 243, and that has been done. But is the job done fully? I don't think so. Because Asim Munir has not got absolute power so far, and he is aiming for that. That absolute power will come from the 28th amendment, which is due. Already people are talking of it. Just think of a nation which goes to polls in 1 year. Within 1 year of that, it carries out two constitutional amendments. And this government is not even legal. So, what is the legality of this constitutional amendment? It's an open secret in Pakistan that the government is a Form 47 government. That's what they say. Form 47 was all changed. There are hardly 25% of this parliament who's elected on their own steam. Both Asif Ali Zardari and Shahbaz Sharif were two people who lost the elections. And they are the ones who are riding the power triangle. So, I'll get this point back because one of the things about this constitutional amendment is indemnification. By the very act of framing this, has Asim Munir indemnified himself or opened himself? We'll come to it. This is the 27th amendment which I spoke. It talks of restructuring of the judiciary, altering the judicial commission, executive magistrates, and formalizing the rank of field marshal, which has been done, and provincial autonomy, which I will not talk of. That's not the thing. But we'll talk of altering the judicial commission and the judiciary and the rank of the field marshal. And behind this is the 26th Amendment, because the 26th Amendment amended the judiciary and further amended it 27. This gives complete legal cover, or it enables these three guys who are in this constitutional dictatorship to have a fig leaf of constitutional cover. Right? The constitution now talks of these three things. Okay, so let's talk of the military reform as per the 27th Amendment. What is it? Chairman, Chief of Staff Committee, right? That's been finished. Chairman, Joint Chiefs of Staff, Sahir Shamshed Mirza. End of this month he retires, and after that there's no thing. That's being taken over by whom? By the Chief of Defence Staff. And the interesting thing about the Chief of Defence Staff is he'll always be from the army. So has Asim Munir already sowed dissent between Army, Navy, and the Air Force? Why? Important to understand. After Op Sindoor, Army was being not bothered about. Air Force was coming in. The Air Force chief is on his second extension. There must be voices within Pakistan about the Air Force. So Asim Munir has quickly moved, created a post of Chief of Defence Staff in conformity with the rank of Field Marshal and all that. And he sidelined the Navy and the Air Force. In any case, they were already always sidelined. But even from the public perception, legally, they have a second-rate role. Of course, he's got now lifetime privileges for the rank of Field Marshal. There's no doubt. He's got protection from removal. He can't be removed. He's got legal immunity, right? Under Article 248 of their constitution, and that legal immunity is only with the president. No, after the president, he's got legal immunity, which means you can't prosecute him. No cases can be heard against him. And once this chap's command finishes, he will be given a post. He'll be given a post suitable to his stature. That means it's a post for life. It's not a title for life. This is all mandated now in the amendment. And what is the new normal? Right? The new normal is there was no draft amendment which was put tabled. It was just I wouldn't say put it. It was never discussed. It was just tabled on the parliament, discussed, passed within the same day. This is the same way the 26th Amendment was passed. So hereafter, you expect constitutional amendments in Pakistan. So all these amendments are going to be pushed through without discussion, without anything, with a pliant parliament and a pliant president and a pliant prime minister. They are also the dictators. That's what I call them. Okay. Now, what will be the repercussion of this down the line? Because you have to understand, today, no one can challenge them. Then no one can challenge whatever is happening in Pakistan. Hardly anything. There will be some protests here about all that. Nothing can happen. That was what Pervez Musharraf also achieved. That was what Ziaul Haq also achieved. But with time, things changed. Ziaul Haq was assassinated. Pervez Musharraf was thrown out. And he was exiled. And he was given death sentence for treason. This guy, Asim Munir, thinks he's indemnifying himself against all that. But there's a fundamental flaw in this guy's takeover in this manner, whatever has happened in 27th Amendment. Because the government is illegal. If the government is illegal and tomorrow that is proven, right? And it will be proven because there's ample proof. If the government is illegal, the amendments to the constitution because of this are also illegal. Both 26th Amendment and 27th Amendment. In which case, that constitutional court which these chaps are putting together is illegal. You see, tomorrow all it has to do is people have to get onto the street, and all these chaps will be in jail or out of the country. Asim Munir definitely is on the chopping block. The other two, Zardari and Shahbaz Sharif, being politicians, they might. Okay, so I think we have to see what's happening in Pakistan. Pakistan, to my way of looking at it, is on the brink. Now, understand, I've got Hamid Mir in. Hamid Mir is talking about the terrorism laws which were enacted in Pakistan some time back. Now, those terrorism laws which have been enacted were enacted with a purpose, and they are at cross purposes with the earlier provisions of the constitution. How things are done in Pakistan, he'll explain. And not only that, the same copybook is, the same style is being replicated now. So what is happening now, there's a very clear precedence to what happened very recently. And the outcomes of that also people know. So he stitches these together. It's about a 4-5 minute talk. Hear it. I hope you people will be able to listen to it. If you can't listen to it, then we will not write or test it.
इंसदाद दहशतगर्दी के नाम पर जिसकी भी आपको शक्ल पसंद नहीं आएगी उसको आप दहशतगर्द करार देके उठा लेंगे, तो इससे तो मसला हल नहीं होगा. देखें ना, सबसे बड़ी मिसाल जो है वो ये है कि 1997 में ये कानून पास किया गया. ये 1997 से चला आ रहा है. ना तो आप दहशतगर्दी खत्म कर सके और ना ही आप जबरी गुमशुदगियों का मसला हल कर सके. फिर आपने 2014 में इसको अमेंड किया, फिर इस्तेमाल किया. अब आपने फिर 2025 में इसको अमेंड कर दिया, फिर आप इस्तेमाल करेंगे. तो इसका मतलब ये है कि इस कानून के तहत अब आप किसी को उठाएंगे तो आइन के आर्टिकल 10A के तहत आपने उसका फेयर ट्रायल करना है. लेकिन आप, ये आइन कहता है कि उसको आपने 24 घंटे के अंदर अदालत में पेश करना है. अब आप 24 घंटे में अदालत में नहीं पेश करेंगे. जो आइन में लिखा हुआ है वो ऐसे ही रहेगा. आइन कहता है कि आप जब किसी को हिरासत में लेंगे तो उसको 24 घंटे के अंदर अंदर अदालत में पेश करना है. वो लिखा रहेगा ऐसे ही. और जब भी पाकिस्तान के में जो ह्यूमन राइट्स वायलेशंस हो रही हैं उस पर कोई एतराज करेंगे, आप किसी इंटरनेशनल फोरम पे जाएंगे, वहां जाके आप दिखाएंगे जी हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में ये लिखा हुआ है जी कि हम तो जिसको भी उठाते हैं उसको 24 घंटे में पेश कर देते हैं. वहां जाके आप ये जो एंटी टेररिस्ट लॉ है ना 1997, इसमें जो आपने अमेंडमेंट किया है 13 अगस्त 2025 को, इसका आप जिक्र नहीं करेंगे कि आप 3 महीने तक किसी को इलीगली डिटेन कर सकते हैं. अब आप कानून ऐसा बना रहे हैं कि जिस कानून में ही आप कानून की धज्जियां बखेर रहे हैं. पाकिस्तान जो है ये कायदे.
So, interesting point. These chaps are making a constitution and a kanun which kills the constitution. That's the crux of what he's trying to say. Listen on.
हमने बनाया था जो कि एक लॉयर थे और एक जज भी रहे. कायदे आज़म एक जज भी रहे. तो कायदे आज़म के पाकिस्तान में वही कानून हमारे लिए काबिल कबूल है जो कि कायदे आज़म के नजरियात के मुताबिक है. अब आप अगर पार्लियामेंट से अपनी पसंद का एक काला कानून मंजूर करवा के हमें ये कहें कि भाई रूल ऑफ लॉ पे आप यकीन रखते हैं तो रूल ऑफ लॉ का तकाजा है, इस कानून को हमने मंजूर कर दिया, इस कानून की आप हमायत करें. नहीं साहब, ऐसा नहीं होगा. हम आपसे सवाल पूछेंगे कि आपने ये जो काला कानून पास किया है ये कायदे आज़म के नजरियात के मुताबिक है या नहीं. आपने जो पीका लॉ मंजूर किया वो भी एक काला कानून है, वो भी कायदे आज़म के नजरियात के खिलाफ है. तो मैं इस कानून को कायदे आज़म के नजरियात के खिलाफ इसलिए करार दे रहा हूँ, इसलिए मैं इस कानून पर एतराज कर रहा हूँ, गुस्ताखाना गुफ्तगू कर रहा हूँ कि मुझे ये लगता है कि ये कानून कायदे आज़म के पाकिस्तान को कमजोर करेगा. इस कानून के नफाज से कायदे आज़म के पाकिस्तान में आइन और कानून की अहमियत कम हो जाएगी. اس قانون کے نفاذ سے قائد اعظم کے پاکستان میں پاکستان کا جو نوجوان ہے وہ اگر کوئی اختلافی آواز بلند کرے گا تو اس کو آپ دہشت گرد قرار دے کے آپ اس کو جیل میں ڈال دیں، اور جب اس کے لواحقین اس کی فیملی عدالت میں رٹ دائر کرے گی کہ جناب اس بندے کو انلیگلی ڈیٹین کیا گیا، تو آپ کہیں گے یہ قانون ہے جی، ہم نے اس کو انلیگلی ڈیٹین نہیں کیا ہوا، ہم نے اس کو قانون کے مطابق 3 مہینے کے لیے اپنے پاس رکھا ہوا ہے، 3 مہینے گزریں گے تو آپ پھر ایکسٹینڈ کر دیں گے اس کی حراست کو، جیسا کہ آپ مارنگ بلوچ اور ان کے ساتھیوں کے معاملے میں کر رہے ہیں۔ آپ نے ان کو گرفتار جو ہے وہ دہشت گرد قرار دے کے گرفتار کیا، لیکن ابھی تک آپ نے دہشت گردی میں ان کا ٹرائل شروع نہیں کیا کیونکہ آپ کے پاس تو کوئی ثبوت ہی نہیں ہے۔ تو آپ یہ قانون استعمال کریں گے کہ جس کی شکل آپ کو پسند نہیں ہے، جس کی اختلافی آواز جو ہے وہ آپ کے ذاتی اور سیاسی مفاد کے خلاف ہے، اس کو آپ اس قانون کا استعمال کر کے اندر کر دیں گے اور کہیں گے ہم تو جو بھی کر رہے ہیں وہ آئین اور قانون کے مطابق کر رہے ہیں۔ اور اعظم نذیر تارڑ صاحب بھی ہر جگہ پہ قومی اسمبلی میں سینٹ میں کھڑے ہو کے کہیں گے جی ہم تو جو کچھ بھی کر رہے ہیں وہ آئین اور قانون کے مطابق کر رہے ہیں۔ تو اس لیے جناب کیونکہ اکثریت نے اس قانون کی حمایت کر دی ہے تو اس لیے یہ قانون ہی پاکستان کا قانون ہے۔ تو عرض یہ کرنا تھا کہ اکثریت نے 1919 میں بھی قائد اعظم محمد علی جناح کا جو موقف تھا اس کو مسترد کیا، اور اکثریت نے 1919 میں بھی رولٹ ایکٹ کو پاس کر دیا تھا، لیکن قائد اعظم محمد علی جناح نے اس اکثریت کے فیصلے کو مسترد کر دیا اور اس اسمبلی کی رکنیت سے استعفیٰ دے دیا۔ اب میں یہ تو نہیں کہہ رہا کہ جن ارکان قومی اسمبلی نے اس بلیک لا کی مخالفت کی ان کو بھی چاہیے کہ وہ اسمبلی سے استعفیٰ دے دیں، میں یہ بالکل نہیں کہہ رہا، لیکن میں صرف یہ عرض کر رہا ہوں کہ جنہوں نے اس قانون کو پاس کیا ہے وہ ذرا سوچیں کہ وہ جو کچھ بھی کر رہے ہیں اس کا نتیجہ ان کو کل کو بھگتنا بھی پڑے گا، جیسا کہ نواز شریف۔
That's the interesting story. جس نے بھی یہ قانون کو پاس کیا ہے وہ کل ان کو بھگتنا پڑے گا۔ Asim Munir is not closing all doors. He is actually opening them up. It's a matter of thing, and he now comes up with certain things. This is not a analysis of the constitutional amendment by Habib Mir. This is an analysis of the anti-terrorism laws which they put, but the equivalence is the same. Understand that.
نے بھی بھگتا 1997 میں انہوں نے یہ قانون پاس کیا، اور بعد میں پھر مشرف دور میں وہ اسی قانون کے تحت انہوں نے بھی مقدمات کا سامنا کیا۔ تو یہ ہوگا، آپ جب کسی دوسرے کے لیے گڑھا کھودتے ہیں تو ایک دن آپ خود بھی اس گڑھے میں گرتے ہیں۔
So اگر آپ کسی دوسرے کے لیے گڑھا کھودتے ہو تو آپ بھی اس میں گرو گے۔ This is coming from them, and this is about the previous one. This is not the end of the story. Whatever is happening in Pakistan.
آپ سے گزارش یہ کرنی ہے کہ قائد اعظم کی جو اسمبلی میں تقاریر ہیں ان تقاریر پر مشتمل ایک کتاب ہے جناح ایز اے پارلیمنٹیرین، جو کہ ملک جعفر صاحب اور آئی رحمان صاحب اور عزیز صدیقی صاحب نے کافی سال پہلے وہ کتاب کمپائل کی تھی اور اس وقت بھی مارکیٹ میں موجود ہے۔ تو اراکین پارلیمنٹ سے گزارش ہے کہ ٹھیک ہے آپ پریشر میں ہیں، اپنے ضمیر کی آواز پہ لبیک نہیں کہہ سکتے، اپنے چھوٹے چھوٹے ذاتی اور سیاسی مفاد کے لیے آپ بلیک لاز کو پارلیمنٹ سے منظور کروا رہے ہیں، کرواتے رہیں، یہ کام کرواتے رہیں، کیونکہ آپ کو تو اپنی نوکری بچانی ہے نا، اپنی اسمبلی کی رکنیت بچانی ہے۔ کسی وقت تھوڑا سا وقت نکال کر یہ کتاب جو ہے آپ کو مل جائے گی کہیں نہ کہیں سے، بک سٹورز پر موجود ہے۔ یہ کتاب جناح ایز اے پارلیمنٹیرین کسی وقت نکال کے خرید لیں اور کبھی کبھی اس کو پڑھ بھی لیا کریں، تو آپ کو یہ احساس ہوگا ہاں آپ قومی اسمبلی اور سینٹ میں بڑی دھواں دھار تقریریں کرتے ہیں اور انگلیاں لہرا لہرا کر آنکھیں گھما گھما کے آپ حکومت اپوزیشن اور اپوزیشن حکومت کو بڑے جواب دیتی ہے، لیکن جو لیجسلیشن آپ کرتے ہیں نا وہاں پہ وہ آپ قائد اعظم محمد علی جناح کے نظریات کے بالکل خلاف کرتے ہیں، اور آپ کو 14 اگست اور 23 مارچ منانے کا کوئی حق نہیں۔
chilling. That's his way of looking at it. These guys, the current constitutional dictators of Pakistan, are turning the constitution around, they made a new constitution, and if they conclude it with the 28th amendment, which might come after 6 7 months, you're going to have a completely new system. But the new system is the one which is going to kill them. It's a matter of time. It's happened with every dictator of Pakistan here so far. It's happened with Yahya Khan, who was thrown out in disgrace. It has happened with Zia, who was backed off. Happened with Pervez Musharraf, he was thrown off. It will happen with this fellow also. And I hope this time it happens with the other two chaps, Asif Ali Zardari and Shahbaz Sharif. Because to my way of looking at it, they have sold Pakistan. But in this, I have a question. Have they sold Pakistan? They have. But whom have they sold it to? Pakistanis. It is the Pakistanis who have believed this and bought it. Who are to blame? Do I blame Asim Munir? Do I blame these two jokers? Or do I blame the people of Pakistan or the elite? Why are the people of Pakistan not standing up for their own rights? Do they find this whole story convenient to them? If that is so, well, what can you do? Then you have to deal with the situation. That opens up a different can of worms. We'll talk of that separately, but understanding what's happening in Pakistan is important. That's why I always say this. Okay, let's get back to a few slides. He says, look, this is an article which came in Dawn the other day. How does the 27th Constitutional Amendment Bill change the military leadership structure? It changes huge. I would suggest read this in Dawn. Today, the army is officially constitutionally the top dog in Pakistan. Only the army chief can be the CDS, and the CDS will recommend to the Prime Minister a national command authority, guy, advisor, and he would be a 4-star because then it gives some career opportunity to others. But he will be a lackey to the Chief of Defence Staff. And the Field Marshal is for life. He is not going to let go of the fact that I am Field Marshal and I will remain the Chief of Defence Staff for life. He's already put the whole story for life. Legally. He'll just, another 28th amendment is on the cards. Just wait. Okay. Then the next thing is silence or surrender. The 27th amendment and the unmasking of justice. Now, the justice system in Pakistan has been completely finished off. It is finished off in such a way that the Supreme Court is irrelevant to the Constitution of Pakistan. That's the second part of the story. They've legalized their dictatorship constitutionally. If I, as a common Pakistan, want to go to the Supreme Court and challenge the Constitution, I have to go to a constitutional court. And the Constitutional Court and its appointees are with the parliamentary system, the legislation. It is by legislation, not by judiciary. The executive will nominate the judges who are to be on this constitutional court, and they will be appointed by these two jokers, Zardari and the other, Shahbaz Sharif. So Asim Munir has put himself in a position where he can't be constitutionally challenged. Even if there's a challenge against that, well, he has to go to the constitutional court. If he goes to anyone goes to the constitutional court, the judges are his. Complete match fixing. But again, like I said, like what Hamid Mir said, in the very way that this whole story has evolved lies the problem. खड्डा आपके लिए खुद खोद रहे हैं. Because I'll come to that. We'll come to a few opinions. Look at this. This is Asan Wahid. I picked it up from the net. There is no benefit to the 27th Amendment. As per this, an amendment should be to the public interest. That's the acid test. Any constitutional amendment should, you know, confer advantage to the public. In this, the public is not being given any, benefit. It is the individual who benefits. Same. We have the Chetwood theory, isn't it? Nation before troops, troops before self, and I'm the last. Safety, welfare, and honor of my country stands first each and every time. That's what I've learned. No, here the safety, welfare, honor, and my post of the field marshal is first. Pakistan is second. The people are last. Okay? Now, what is it? This is complete self protection. It's protecting himself against indemnification of the rule which is put in place. Also, indemnification against Imran Khan. Remember, the biggest joker in their pack is Imran Khan, who's sitting in jail. If tomorrow he comes out, and there's some problem, and elections are overturned, absolutely they'll be thrown out. All these fellows will run away. Some guy comes in, Imran Khan comes back to the top as the prime minister, elected. The first thing he will say is, he will tell the judges, you get out of this, put judges, all these amendments will be squashed. If they're squashed, thank you, you're back to square one, judicially. In many ways, Imran Khan is today the answer to Pakistan's problems, and he's the problem himself. Don't think if Imran Khan comes out that Pakistan will prosper. It will not prosper. It will go through hell. But that hell will be good for Pakistan in the long run. It will be good for India also in the long run. I've always said Pakistan is my friend. Rather, Imran Khan is my friend. Imran Khan is the friend of India. He'll do two things. He will ruin, if he becomes the prime minister tomorrow, he'll ruin Pakistan beyond redemption. I have no doubt about it. Two, he'll send the military back to barracks. Both these are good for Pakistan today. People ask me politically, what should we do against Pakistan? Politically, India should ensure that Imran Khan gets out of jail, which we are not doing. That's a tremendous option which is there, which we have not exercised. What does this chap say? I mean, he brings in the legality. Same, Mustafa Nawaz Kokar, who spoke of, I showed the first slide of yours. Read it fully, because only then you will get an answer to what this chap is saying. He says, Justice Manzoor Ali Shah has raised important questions in a letter regarding the proposed constitutional amendment. How can such an amendment be made without taking the judiciary into confidence? And one that would completely change the structure of the justice system established over 70 years. Petitions on the 26th Amendment are pending. How can the 27th be possible? Urge the Chief Justice to fulfill his roles, otherwise history will not forget you. So, very interesting, isn't it? So, this whole story, the edifice of this story is weak. So, the 27th Amendment has been pushed through on the basis of the 26th Amendment, which itself was under legal question mark. So if that is under question mark, this also will be under question mark legally and all that. So as much as that's why that clip which I got out of Hamid Mir, very important. These chaps are making rules and amending the constitution to suit themselves. In making them, they're going to, that's their death warrant also. Right. Then, this chap, Michael Kugelman, he's given his tweet out. He says, an initial takeaway from my recent visit to Pakistan. The nation is flying high on the global stage. It's there. That's what we all think. Right? But this can't distract from a raft of big problems at home, especially terrorism, tense borders, yeah. For that, Mohit Pirzada, who's a Pakistani, who can't exist in Pakistan because he speaks some element of truth about what's happening. He's sitting in Washington. He's pretty influential. He says nation is not flying high. But it gives us also. Pakistan is not flying high. It's the select elites that invite you at taxpayers' expense and meets you. You don't know Pakistan and you're not even interested. Very deep reply. So this, what we are hearing about Pakistan being high and sitting in Trump's lap and having great relations with China and all, is only the creation of an elite. The truth is completely different, and that is something which we need to exploit. If I would have a thing, the political aspect and my strategic communication will focus on these two issues. Focus on this. This is a universal truth. There's no doubt. All of us know it. But are we doing the right thing? Or we want to go to war with Pakistan? हम ये कर देंगे, ऑप सिंदूर 2 कर देंगे, बेवकूफ हैं. Musharraf made the 17th Amendment, in which he abrogated a lot of powers. In the 18th Amendment, which was when Musharraf was dethroned, certain, a lot of amendments which Musharraf did were undone. Now, whatever 243 is they're amending now, 26th, 27th Amendment, is going back to Musharraf's time. This is the analysis which they're talking of. So if that happens, history will repeat itself. Okay? And then there's a fine thing of law, is that to extend the army chief of Pakistan, his tenure, you don't need a constitutional amendment. It could have been done by government decree, but they've done it. I think in this, they're end playing themselves. Asim Munir is end playing himself. Okay? Right. Now, this chairman, joint chief of staff, now that is gone now. So that chairman, joint chief of staff has become the chief of defense staff. Again, this doesn't require a constitutional amendment. That's what this says. Legal experts split whether statutory rationalization even requires changes to constitution. This is just a structural thing within the government, but Asim Munir is doing it through the constitution. Now he's fully complicit in this whole story. This is what he's being shown in Pakistan, the media, the new detractor. This is how it is. The constitutional amendment bill is being depicted in Pakistan media. I'll show you a few cartoons, like alligator eating up the government and democracy and everything. And here, the complicity of Shahbaz Sharif comes out in this analysis by Don, where he has gone, convinced everyone that, look, we should pass this bill. That's all recorded. Okay, look at this. If the 26th Amendment was steep enough, the 27th Amendment is here. Onward to 28th Amendment, which we don't know what's coming. that will seal dictatorship, the constitutional dictatorship. So far, military dictators in Pakistan have taken over Pakistan by just suspending the constitution of Pakistan. This guy, Asim Munir, is incrementally taking over Pakistan as a dictator through the constitution. You have to understand this. Look at this depiction. This is the 26th Amendment, which is pushing the 26th Amendment, which is pushing Pakistan ahead. Okay, and the 27th Amendment is being shown as a snake. It's not a rabbit out of a hat, it's a snake out of a hat. Look, I lay a lot of emphasis on cartoons. The cartoons tell you a story. The cartoons tell you a story. Look at this snake out of the hat. Okay, and it's going ahead, full steam. So everything is on. And yeah, look at this. This is by Sabir Nazir. And of course, this is the Pakistan army and the wolf, the werewolf which is eating its own people. Yep. Now, Pakistan itself in its editorials are calling out unconstitutional amendment. Why the 27th Amendment could mean the death of justice. And this lady just came out that, Maliha Lodi in Dawn saying that this is a slide into authoritarianism. But no one is, but the thing is, a lot of people in Pakistan talk, but they don't have the guts to get onto the street. They don't have the guts to stand up. They're all firing over someone else's shoulder. They're weak. This country is weak. Okay. When you look at it from an economic point of view, this is an article which came yesterday, rewriting the linked rules of business perspective. It's very clear business in Pakistan and economy is going to tank. And this guy, Asim Munir, can do nothing about it. He'll not do nothing. So we're going to see two Pakistans. The Pakistan of the elite, which will fly high, and a Pakistan which is going to go bad to worse. When will these two Pakistans grow apart and break is the question. And for us as political thought thinking, as part of India's political thinking, our aim is when do we ensure and how do we ensure that this breaks? It's a tenuous link. How does it break? The day you do that, you don't need to fight Pakistan. Now, the hidden thing is the complete nuclear control of all the weapons of Pakistan would go into the Chief of Defence Staff's hand. It will no more be the Prime Minister who will control Pakistan's nuclear assets, not the President. So in this new dictatorship, which is hidden and coming out, the control of the weapons of Pakistan or control of the nuclear weapons of Pakistan will be in the hands of the Chief of Defence Staff, Field Marshal, Chief of Army Staff. 3-in-1 hats. The other two are just polishing the boots. All this is when they have a problem, and this is again yesterday's cartoon. They have a huge problem with Afghanistan. You must hear Muttaqi's statement. Muttaqi is the Foreign Minister of Pakistan. He says, no, not Pakistan, of Afghanistan. And he says that Pakistan is blaming us for everything, which is their problem. They're blaming us for TLP, they're blaming us for the economy, they're blaming us for their own problems of how they're handling Pashtunistan. We can do nothing. We have nothing. They accept that they have nothing, but blaming us. But if you blame us, we'll fight back. So this is going to continue. This will be the existential danger. And this is something we need to exploit. General Shokin Chauhan has written an article, an extremely good article. One of these days, we're going to have a discussion with him. I told him already. But let me read out some excerpts from what he's written. Very important. He says an army's strength lies not in its weapons it carries, but in the restraint with which it wields them. Pakistan's strategy, Pakistan's tragedy is that its army never learned this truth. They wield the weapons, right? But not by restraint, but the power it gives. What began as a professional institution in 1947 has now become a theocratic corporation governing politics, economy, ideology, and even religion. It is no longer the guardian of the republic, it is the republic itself. So there's a Pakistan which is a republic under the army, a Pakistan which is not a republic, which is under no one. It is seething masses of 250 million. What do we do with these two Pakistans is the question we have to answer. Right? Pakistan army is not a military adversary alone, but an ideological project. I keep saying this. You cannot defeat the Pakistan army through military. You cannot defeat an ideological project through weapons. You have to defeat it politically, through a political ideology. And then, as far as the officers of the Pakistan are concerned, a new officer class has emerged, shaped by decades of exposure to jihadist narratives and anti-India indoctrination within the National Defense University and Command and Staff College curricula. Studies have noted a measurable increase in religiosity amongst the mid-ranking officers and a tendency to conflate faith with patriotism. The army's radicalization is not overtly visible in uniform. It manifests in subtly through its choice of narratives, public statements, and policy preferences. So the Pakistan army is internally bound by ideology, indoctrination, and religion, which is papered over or wrapped in money. We have to understand this. You can't break it. What you can break is the link between this Pakistan of the elite and the other Pakistan which is struggling. The Pakistan army has constructed an enormous economic empire that sustains its autonomy and patronage networks. The mill bus of or military business complex encompasses vast holdings in agriculture, industry, construction, and banking, estimated by Aisha Siddiqa to control assets over 20 billion US dollars. Okay, what does this give? It ensures, first and foremost, it ensures institutional cohesion through material incentives, making loyalty to the military hierarchy financially rewarding. So anyone who's within the army, if they want this money or get the benefits of this money, which has been invested for the army, has to be loyal to the Pakistan army. So the Pakistan army will never be disloyal to itself. Second, it entrenches the army's political control. Remember this. The army derives political control over the military businesses. Okay? As retired officers populate corporate boards, bureaucracies, and even diplomatic positions. That's the important thing. The army runs the country. Right? Third, it immunizes the army from fiscal accountability, enabling it to extract a disproportionate share of the national budget while retaining off-book sources of revenue. All this is being seen in 26th and 27th Amendment. All that is because of this. By 2035, unless checked by systemic reforms, this militarized economy will further weaken Pakistan's civilian institutions. The army's corporate empire will evolve into a state within a state, controlling both coercive power and economic capital. A combination of that effectively subordinates the civilian state apparatus to military supremacy. He's talking of 2035. It's already happened, the way I look at it. And our aim is to break that. Understanding what's happening in 26th Amendment, what's happened in 27th Amendment, and what's happened earlier is very important for us to know how to deal with Pakistan. That is why I've given time before this whole thing gets diffused. Right? Okay. So I do hope you like this video. If you like this video, press the like button and also subscribe to Dana Shot. Right. I'll now take some questions. At the start of this vlog, I did talk a little about the Delhi blast, and I see a few questions on that. I'll take them on, and then we'll move ahead. Right? I'll first take that, and then I'll get back to yeah. Karthik says condolences to the departed about the Delhi blast victims. All of us, right? All of us say so. Yeah. MV Karan says, good morning, sir, and fellow viewers, all countrymen, please be careful on the lookout for anything suspicious. Please be careful and strong, all of you. Look, you have to understand what happened in Red Fort, that car blast. It was a blast. No one went and opened the door. It was not driven anywhere. It was at a traffic junction almost. So, sir, your thoughts on recent Delhi blast and recent blast in Delhi? Is there a Pakistani supported by Chinese connection? Too early to talk. Too early to talk. We'll talk of it as we go along. We'll know. We know that today it has been declared that this is going to be investigated as almost as a terror incident. Things will come out. Right? If Pakistan is involved in Delhi blast, then what would be our response to Pakistan at such a time when Munir is literally taking over Pakistan? Again, same Opsindur thing. This is not as bad as Pahalgam. Then you have to react in that manner. The terror incident has happened. Deal with it. Deal with it politically. If you do it militarily, you will get the same results back. You can't reinforce failure. You have to open a new attack line altogether. And if you do anything to Pakistan, this is what Asim Munir wants. Then the entire Pakistan will stand behind him and the 26th Amendment and the 27th Amendment. They'll be the happiest. The most foolish thing is to react militarily. Most foolish thing is to talk about it politically also. We should now start talking what we need to do politically with Pakistan. Yeah, same thing. Former Pakistani army officer Adil Raja made a video on YouTube just before yesterday's blast saying that Pakistan was planning to carry out a terror attack in India so that he to karega yaar. Adil Raja is like that only. Yeah. I live in Delhi. I was planning to go to Chandni Chowk, Red Fort yesterday, but then that's okay. That's good luck. Right? So that India responds and Pakistan's want to use some Chinese technology. It's not so simple. It's not just using a matter of using Chinese technologies. If you respond to Pakistan militarily just because of a blast in Delhi, you're played into Pakistan's hands. Right. Okay. Right. Let me go over everyone. SH, good morning. Ladybird Haru, good morning. Vijay Dam, welcome. Thanks a lot. Ashish, good morning. Yeah. Saurabh, good morning. Thanks a lot for agreeing to my points. Kumar Swami and Vasu Iyengar, good morning, sir. Yeah, what can we do with radical Islamist garbage? That we have to do an internal cleansing. And when we do this cleansing, we have to be careful as to who's a radical guy and who's not a radical guy. There are a lot of Muslims who are not radical, a lot of Muslims who are for India. We have to be careful about it. How much does the orange MAGA man need the three stooges? He needs them. He needs them at this point of time. He'll support them. Have no doubt about it. But if the people of Pakistan rise, he can do very little. Yeah, Amitesh, good morning. Akash, good morning. Nice to hear you. Yeah, Adil Raja, Delhi, ye wo. Does the common Pakistani still have reverence for Jinnah? I don't know whether they have. The common Pakistani is Jinnah is just like, I mean, there would be some revisionism in Pakistan also. Like a lot of people today curse Mahatma Gandhi. Same thing would be there. A lot of people stick on to Mahatma Gandhi. Same thing would be there. So a lot of people are silent supporters of Mahatma Gandhi. Same thing would be there. So it's difficult. We'll see how it comes out. Yeah. If POK breaks away and joins India in future, how will we manage such a radicalized people? Also, what value do they add for India? Are they worth the headache? Well, the land is ours. We must take it back. How do you deal with the people? You need to have population control. You need to give people of POK option. If you're not from POK and you're a Punjabi origin, you should tell them, no, you get out of this place. You're not from POK. You're a Kashmiri origin, give them a choice. Be loyal to the Constitution of India. If you're loyal to the Constitution of India, you can stay. Otherwise, get out. Return. Okay? And then you'll have problems. A lot of population control is required. Even if you take back POK, it will take 5-10 years to even look at something called normalcy there. Till then, you will not have the same freedoms which the rest of the country enjoys. There will be issues, but that's a different topic altogether. Hamid Mir must have agreement with another top general opposition of Munir. That's why he can say these things. Probably. And that's good as far as I'm concerned. Means shows dissent within the army. Politics. Use that. Yeah. Hamid Mir is clueless. Pakistan never had a rule of law. All that is fine. But understand what he's trying to say. The larger issue which I'm trying to bring out. The larger issue I'm trying to bring out is whatever these chaps are doing will become a serpent round their neck sooner or later. They just legalize a coup. Yeah, I agree with you. How is this coup different from the 5 different events of the past? That this coup is different in the fact that this is constitutional in nature. There's no legal. Please understand. How did Yahya Khan's coup get dismantled? When Pakistan broke, Zia was finished off. Pervez Musharraf was overthrown constitutionally by the lawyers. This story is an antidote to what happened to Pervez Musharraf. At least that's the way it's coming out. That they can't be thrown out constitutionally. But the way they're doing the way they're selling poison to the rat will sell poison to them. It's a matter of time. That's the point you have to understand. What Asim Munir is doing is trying to head off what happened to Pervez Musharraf. Yeah. Do these laws even matter? It matters. Because if 1,000 cases go into the Supreme Court and it catches a thing of its own, how did the lawyers protest in Pakistan start? This way only. Yeah. Looks like the cranky Asim Munir has taken a leaf of the screenplay of Xi Jinping, and yeah, I agree with you. Will there be an attempt to denuclearize? Out of question. Imran Khan is in jail because he opposed US so-called war on terror in the Middle East. All that is fine. I agree with you. But we have to, when you analyze a country, you have to analyze it in its entirety. Yeah, this was the moment Trump recognized him as the boss of Pakistan. Yeah, I agree with you. I asked, this is an obvious question, but in the last 2 days, we busted an ISIS plot to poison Temple Prasad and water in Gujarat, the 300 explosives in Delhi. We could say we are under attack. No, no, not yet. We're far from that. We shouldn't overreact. Yeah, send money and make groups in Pakistan. Very, very viable solution. There has been a terror attack near Red Fort, Delhi. Appears to be Pak challenging our stated policy of an act of terror is an act of war. Is Pak aware of what they have done? Your views? Yeah, Pak is fully aware of what they have done. I have no doubt about it. But this is below a threshold. For this, you have to also act below the threshold. And you have to act on a different threshold. That's the more important thing. Hope your repeated messages and pleadings to GOI top leaders not to think of a military solutions toward Pakistan is taken in letter. I hope so. And I'm going to put it across to the top leadership of the army sooner than later. Yeah, condolences to the families of Red Fort blast victims. Yep. Wouldn't a nuclear bottleneck also a high concentration of risk, vulnerable to decapitation attacks? Yes, there's a problem. We have to handle it. Rats following another field rat. I agree with you. Actual white paper is there. Yeah. Wonder what will be the status if India if absolute majority party and becomes lunatic and manipulate the constitution and encapsulate public of transparency. Yeah, Kumarsamy, I agree with you. That's why when the elections took place last time and our coalition government was formed, this was my reason. It doesn't matter. Any country, any party getting absolute majority in our country will lead to an absolute disaster. Understand that. Yeah, Amit Shah said that it is difficult to say what caused the incident until the samples recovered from the blast site are analyzed by forensics and NSG. We can't say anything. Yeah, we are not ruling out that. I think that's a safe way, logical way of doing things. Okay, Pakistan can be solved politically only. I agree with you. That's the point. Uh, please say a few words on China-US role view and amendment. Yeah, Chinese have reacted, incidentally. I have an article by Liu Zhongji. I will discuss it down the week. ट्रेड डील में कितना कंसेशन मिल सकता है? I'll talk of it tomorrow. My deepest condolences to the family of the deceased. Hope the ecosystem which supports terror brought to justice. Good to see you back live, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot. And satirical cartoons, yes. Let's get to someone new. Hari Iyer, good morning. Sir is saying we military is used to be judiciously right now only to deter like second strike. Yep. Yeah, this one. Asim Munir may become the Ziaullah 2.0 finally, yes. What to do about the 0.05 trend? Yeah, I have taken a full video about this with Vinod Kandare, who was the security advisor to the government of India, my good friend. Please see that. The pity is you guys ask this question and you don't see that video. When I put it live, hardly 100 people came. And then you say, sir, what do we do with 0.5 front? 0.5 फ्रंट को ना टूथपेस्ट लगाओ और दंत मंजन करो. बाल बोलने से क्या फायदा हुआ? आप सुन आप आते नहीं हो लाइव और मैं बताता रहता हूं, आप चर्चा नहीं होता जब तक ऐसे वीडियोस के ऊपर, अनलेस you guys stand, it becomes a lot of people see it. Who in the top will see it? Unless it goes viral. Anyway, that's a different story. That's why I say what I talk. If you feel that it should, go to the top people and they should hear about it. My going and talking to them in a conference and telling them this, they they just hear it and throw it away. They think maybe ये बुड्ढा आदमी है यार, इससे क्या बात करना है. But if you people feel that what I'm saying is right and you make my videos go viral, or come and attend, then I can say, look, this is what the public response is. Otherwise, what can I do? I can only talk. I'll keep talking. That's my what I can do. Okay. Anyway, thanks a lot. Evening, we're going to talk of Mamdani effect. General Atta Hasnain, General Gautam Murthy, and Mr. Ashok Sajjanhar was our ambassador. These three, all of them will come. We'll talk because that's got tremendous. And I'm going to speak on the effect in USA and India. That's more important. I couldn't care a damn what happens to New York and Mamdani. But the fallout of that is more important. Join me in the evening. Till then, have a great day. Enjoy yourself. Jai Hind.